The CCSA has quietly approved the Russian Sputnik vaccine. People in Pattaya are in an uproar about a seaside makeover and a grim milestone for people in Myanmar. All that coming up on today's Good Morning Thailand. Today's show is brought to you by Boat Patana of Boat Avenue and Shambhala, Phuket. For more information on their properties, see the link in the description below. Good morning, Thailand. It's Thursday? Yes. Welcome to the program on August the 19th. Morning, Jay.
Hello. Good morning.
And that was a bit brighter because you got criticised yesterday for being a bit downbeat.
I did.
It's great to have you with us on today's program. Sort of plenty to talk about. Don't forget we've separated our comment section into another program called Thaiger Bites, and you can, of course, find that on our YouTube channel. Bites, by the way, is B-I-T-E-S.
Yes.
Somebody said yesterday, I couldn't find Tiger Bites, and they spelled it T-I-G-E-R.
They spelled it B-Y-T-E-S.
So no wonder you couldn't find it. All right, so let's start off with perhaps a bit of grim news. Let's check today's COVID stats, Jay.
Sure, Tim. Today in Thailand, we had 20,902 new COVID infections, and 148 of them were from prisons. Unfortunately, again, we have 301 COVID-related deaths in Thailand today, and 22,208 people were released from care. We still have currently 205,946 who are still in care.
I suppose just the bottom line and all that is it's pretty much consistent with how it's been over the past week.
Yeah, Tim.
So we're not sort of seeing a huge rise or a trend in new cases. I think that's satisfying, and hopefully that means that the number of deaths we're currently seeing daily will start to drop in a week or so as well. And it's great to see such a high number of people being released from hospital care each day. So let's hope that continues. All right, to other issues.
Right, Tim. So on a lighter news, I've decided to come up with another segment called the Did You Know? Now, this is a segment where we will talk about past systems, happenings, events, or, popular things that have happened in Thailand. So starting today, a lot of you might be aware, some of the younger generation perhaps not, but Tim, did you know that Thailand had a tram system?
No. Thailand or Bangkok?
Bangkok in specific, yes.
Okay, I did not know. I have to say I come from one of the tram cities of the world, Melbourne, which has a very, locally famous, and I think a lot of people came to visit Melbourne, not from around the world, but people enjoyed Melbourne's tram system. It was a great way to get around.
Sure.
A lot of the other cities in Australia abandoned them, but I didn't know that Bangkok had a tram system. It certainly doesn't have one now. Well,
Yes.
It's got the SkyTrain.
Well, have a look at some of these pictures. The tram system dates back all the way to 1887, and that was when the first trams were actually pulled by horses, and it kept running until 1968. And you can actually still, in certain parts of Bangkok, find these tracks on the streets that the trams used to run on. Nowadays, of course, we have the BTS, with its old and new infinite red, blue, green, purple lines going all over the city, and trams would definitely not work anymore with the traffic in Thailand. Although, some have actually been modified with wheels on them to give a more fun touristy experience, or someone who just wants to have a fun time.
When you say wheels, you mean sort of like tyres?
Yeah, it's
I
a
think
car,
the old trams had
basically.
wheels.
Yeah, it's a big bus in the shape of a tram. So
Right.
they've kind of modified it just for a fun experience. But yeah, I wasn't aware that we had a tram system. For some reason, I just thought we had trains and then eventually moved to BTS.
I was aware that Thailand was called the Venice of the East, so it had quite a spectacular canal system.
And that's actually coming up on tomorrow's episode.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. So that's Did You Know in Thailand? We've got our big headlines coming up in just a moment. Thank you to our sponsor, Shambhala. You're watching Good Morning Thailand. The CCSA has quietly okayed the Russian Sputnik vaccine as one of the accepted vaccine brands for international travellers entering Sandbox destinations in Thailand. The vaccines previously failed to receive approval from the local FDA for import and use in Thailand. The Department of Disease Control is now expected to approve the order from the CCSA by the end of this month, moving one step closer for the ability for Russians and others from the dozens of countries who use the Sputnik vaccine to travel to Thailand soon. The TAT hopes that 500,000 Russian travellers will visit this year now that the Sputnik vaccine has been approved. We're pretty sure that's a typo from the TAT. Countries like Vietnam, Turkey, Mexico, Argentina have all ordered the Russian vaccine, and India, one of Thailand's fastest growing tourist demographics before the pandemic, ordered 250 million doses, meaning this new approval could allow millions more tourists to enter. A grenade was found in front of a local politician's home in the central province of Prachin Buri, east of Bangkok. The chief of the Kham Tanot Administrative Organisation said he was in a meeting when he received a message from his daughter with a photo of what appeared to be a small bomb outside his house. Police suspect the threat could have been made because of the local elections or possibly due to personal conflicts. Explosive ordnance disposal officers were called to the home and found a M33 grenade manufactured in the US in front of the official's residence. EOD officers defused the explosive with high water pressure. Police are still investigating. After an uproar paused a beach remodel project that began last Sunday, the Pattaya city mayor has held a press conference to explain and justify the remodel plans. Community leaders and notable residents protested the plans to launch the seaside makeover, with complaints mainly on two grounds. First, many objected to the removal of trees that would come along with revamping the beachfront. And second, many felt the outpouring of money into an upgrade, while so many were struggling and suffering from the economic effect of COVID-19, was a slap in the face to locals. But the mayor said the project is part of a long-term, multi-phase project already in progress before COVID and not taking funds away from COVID-19 assistance or relief. The project started with expanding the sand area of the beach and is connected to water drainage improvements, currently underway since April. Police raided a birthday party at a resort in Bangkok and arrested 28 people for violating emergency orders which prohibit gatherings of more than 5 people. Sutisan police officers raided the resort in the Ratchadapisek area at around 3:30 a.m. yesterday and arrested them for violating the disease control measures. Bangkok is classified as a dark red zone under maximum control with a 9 p.m. curfew. It also closes businesses, there's travel restrictions and a ban on gatherings of more than 5 people. Officers say 28 young people, including teenagers, were attending the party. Some reportedly told police they were celebrating a friend's birthday party. Seems to be one of those every day. And Myanmar has passed a grim milestone as the death toll at the hands of security forces after the February 1 military coup has officially surpassed 1,000 people. Since the military junta seized power, pro-democracy protesters have taken to the streets nearly non-stop to demonstrate and are often met with harsh and violent suppression by the Burmese military. The Assistance Association for Political Prisoners has been actively tracking the mass arrests and deaths since the coup and say they've verified 1,001 total deaths as of last night. Not surprisingly, the junta disagrees with the AAPP statistics and officially compile a much lower death toll. They also emphasise the death of more than 90 military security force members they attribute to the protesters. Despite the violent crackdowns and suppression methods, dissident citizens continue to protest, with self-defence groups still forming to fight the military, including students, teachers, professionals, even doctors and nurses have joined the protests. Well, that's the main news stories from around Thailand at this time. You can catch up with all the latest at thethaiger.com. But coming up next on Good Morning Thailand, we'll be checking out Only in Thailand with Jay.
A Singapore court has sentenced a British man to 6 weeks in prison after he reportedly breached coronavirus protocols by refusing to wear a face mask in public. Southeast Asian countries need more help securing COVID vaccines, as the region struggles to contain record COVID infections and deaths driven by the Delta variant, according to the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies. U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris's planned visit next week to Southeast Asia is hoped to bolster the Biden administration's competition with China for influence in a crucial region of 660 million people. Japanese leaders are hardening their narrative concerning Taiwan with remarks from the Deputy Prime Minister like, "Japan pledges to defend Taiwan if China attacks," marking a fundamental change in Japanese policy. A new program is launching today in Indonesia to convert normal petrol-fueled motorbikes into electric bikes. Indonesia plans to have at least 2.2 million electric cars and 13 million electric motorbikes by 2030. The Philippine government has cut its economic growth outlook for 2021 as high daily COVID numbers weighs on the recovery. GDP is now tipped to grow only 4 to 5% compared with a previous estimate of 6 to 7%.
And back on Good Morning Thailand, our Thursday program, and time for an extension of our Only in Thailand. A few of you have started sending in some photos. We'll get to those a little bit later, but to the transport section of Only in Thailand. Jay.
Right. So back again, here we have the first picture. As you can see, this would be called a transport paint job gone wrong. I'm guessing at first they realized, we don't have enough space to spell it right. So they went with poli. And then they decided to fix it. However, I think they went to the wrong car. And then they realized they painted CE and then they were like, where's the poli? I mean, I don't really know what happened, but...
Yes, that one comes under the heading of I'm totally confused.
Yeah, I think they hired two different people and they just went to the different cars. Like, well, I did what you wanted me to. You didn't tell me which car.
I'll tell you a funny tattoo story one day too, which sort of goes along those same lines. Now, I have counted my record number of people on one motorbike. The most number I've seen and photographed was 5, but you've done better than that.
Yes, I have. So we have a total of 7 people on one motorbike just bowling out. I mean, they actually look quite comfortable.
Not sure about comfortable, but we've got Junior, we've got the baby, we've got grandma, dad, we've got the whole family there, and they've got the supplies with them as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's quite impressive in a way, the balancing act.
Impressive, but very dangerous, and we would, apart from the fact that none of them are wearing a helmet, not recommend more than 2 people on a motorbike at one time. I think that's the highest number permitted.
Yeah.
Now, we've had, of course, a lot of reaction into the lady on the back of the truck trying to jimmy it out of the underpass.
Parkour spider lady.
So now we've got a parkour Spider-Man.
Yes, we do. So, I looked at it this morning and I was like, this seems like the right picture for today. And safety for eggs matters. Are those eggs? Those are eggs.
Definitely eggs.
Yeah.
And not one of them is going to get away because that guy has got it under control.
I love the effort. You've got to do what you've got to do. When you don't have rope, you can use your arms and body.
His thigh is gripping onto that tyre for grim life. Now, this one, I suppose, comes under the sign of what in earth are you doing out there today?
Well, I mean, the only thing that makes sense is that he was already out and it started to rain and he was just like, I'm just going to go with it. I'm just going to pretend to do it.
Sometimes when they go around with these water trucks watering the medium strips, as they do in the hot season around Thailand, you don't want to get on a motorbike in the way because they don't really care where they spray the water.
Yeah.
And it comes out in a gush. And finally, we've found the modern day Thai philosopher.
Yes, we have. Let's read it out together, shall we? I love Farang. No Farang, no job. I die. No boom boom, no baby.
Well, that's it. That's the Thai life.
Yes.
So that's why you should come back to Thailand because if you're not riding in that guy's tuk-tuk, bottom line, no baby.
You're saving families by visiting Thailand, so think about it.
We've got this sent in. I forget the gentleman's name. We'll put your name under the credit because I'll have to dig it out. But he sent in 2 signs, and this first one, no entry, which is fine, we understand. But the place that you're not allowed to enter is called the Tits Service Company. I'm not sure if that's standing for This is Thailand's Service Company, or if you mean something else.
Yeah.
We're not really sure what you are servicing there, but...
Maybe it's just an all women's establishment and no men are allowed. Makes sense?
And if you are going to come up with a name for a restaurant that you want people to come to, this, I would say, would be the last name I would choose. The Big Sperm Restaurant, which conveniently has 2 different types of opening time, providing different services.
Yep.
Most of them involved with consuming food or alcohol, and nothing to do. Check the logo out. What's going on there?
This is not a translation problem. This is exactly what they're trying to portray. Who knows? Maybe it's a delicacy.
Right, thank you for that, Jay. We're going to say goodbye from Good Morning Thailand. Have we got everything covered?
Yes, we do for today.
Let's check today's weather right around the country, and we'll come back and say goodbye. A bit of a mixed bag up in the capital, but generally clear skies and quite high temperatures if you like it hot and muggy. 36 degrees today, down to 33 by Saturday, and a little bit of everything, but there should be plenty of sunshine as well. To the Sandbox, and 28 is the top today, 27 over the next few days. There will be a few showers coming through, but generally clear skies, a little bit of cloud as well. To Thailand's northeast, and also very hot at the moment, 35 degrees today, down to 33 by Saturday. Plenty of sunshine, but there will be some cloud and rain in the forecast as well. To the north of Thailand, and we've got a little bit lower temperatures, only around 29 to 31 over the forecast period, down to 21 at night by the time you get to Saturday. Clear skies. And in the central Gulf Coast, we've got temperatures around 31 degrees for the next few days. Clear skies, plenty of sunshine, some cloud around, and a few showers. And in Banglamung, Pattaya, we've got, well, clear skies, temperatures around 30 and 31 for the next 3 days, down to 26 at night. And we've got some sunshine, some cloud, and a little bit of rain as well. Well, that's a quick look at what's happening around Thailand on Good Morning Thailand, the 19th of August. Jet hopefully back today with Thailand News Today, our edition coming out around 5 p.m. every day.
If you enjoyed our show today, please click the like button and subscribe to our channel for more Good Morning Thailand and Thailand News Today.
It's free. All you have to do is press the subscribe button. You don't have to do anything more than that. It really helps us. On behalf of everybody at the Thaiger, including Jay, including Jason pressing the buttons, we'd like to thank you for watching, and you're up to date on the Thaiger.